As you can tell, I like to go fast. Our race team is really well prepared. We like to look good, but we also like to dress good, and that's why we shop at Franklin Road Apparel. I own the company, and I wear the clothes that we sell in that store. So check us out. We carry all the top brands: Baldwin, John Barbados, Billy Reed, Goodman brand, and on down the list. So come see us. Franklin Road Apparel, Franklin, Tennessee.
If your tooling isn't quite ready, and you need parts, and you need more parts than just a few, or if your run is just not that big, look to the experts in low-volume production, Three-Dimensional Services. Whether it's 10, 100, or 1,000 parts, we can meet your needs. And if it's 10,000, we can do that too. Three-Dimensional Services delivers high-quality parts for short runs, 70% faster than industry standards. Three-Dimensional Services. Prototype, production, proven.
Menards is the Midwest's ultimate home improvement store. Family owned since 1958, Menards is the one-stop shop where you always save big money. Get the Midwest's best selection nationwide when you shop online at menards.com. We make it easy to complete your projects around the house, big or small. From hardware to plumbing or paint to appliances, we carry it all. Visit menards.com today to save big money at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. We're at Lime Rock Park for the Memorial Day Classic, a race that's held here on Memorial Weekend for the last few years of Trans Am, and long may it continue. It's also the home race for Chris Tyson, our championship leader and winner of this race last year. Chris Tyson grew up here, his father raced here, and this is where he learned all about racing. And he's on great form coming into this race, having won 2 races on the West Coast at Laguna Seca and Sonoma. Chris Tyson leads the way, and he's the odds-on favorite to win here again. So who could stop him? Would it be Tommy Dreese, Amy Ruman, possibly Ken Thwaites? Hard to say. One man we welcome back to Lime Rock, who won here 2013, 14 and 15, is the one and only Paul Fix. We're delighted to have him back in our heritage class.
Well, Tony Ave gave me the opportunity. Back in 2013, I got the call on a Wednesday, said, hey, can you be here at the track on Thursday for your seat fitting? And qualifying got rained out, and we ended up going from the back of the pack all the way and won in the rain. It was a fantastic weekend. And then we just did a repeat the next year and the next year in Tony's Corvette. So it's a real opportunity. Fantastic to be back in the 2022 season for my first time out. Lime Rock, my favorite track of all time, but I'm racing this awesome Jaguar XKR from the 2003 season that Paul Gentilozzi ran originally. This is a Rocket Sports chassis, and I thought, hey, how perfect come to a historic track on a historic weekend in a historic car and run with the big boys again.
Start off on you.
It's the unofficial start of summer in New England as the Trans Am Series comes to Lime Rock Park. Hard Luck Award of the day goes to Tommy Dreese. Tommy, what happened to the Lucas Mustang?
Well, it's nice to know I got an award. Yeah, you know, it was so fast. The 23 lost power steering fluid, and they laid it down the last 3 corners. And she was off. She went off. She in hindsight, she told me what happened. And so when I went to the next 2 corners, it was okay. And when I got going down the hill, I had to go to the apex where she had to go to get off the track. And I hit that oil, and I was just along for the ride.
Too much damage to get the car repaired?
Yeah, it hit the front and the back. Unfortunately, we would have had a backup car here, which we'll have from now on. But, you know, in hindsight, I should have, you know, it was we're on the outside row by 700ths, 2 hours before the race. Drivers got to be careful out there. But, hey, good luck to everybody out there today, and want to see a good race.
Better luck as your season continues. Let's now go to Matt Brabham, the super substitute. Welcome to Lime Rock Park. You've had just 1 session in the car. What's your impression of the track?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, the history here, obviously, Chris was telling me about it, Rob was telling me about it, and my father was telling me about it. So I was trying to get as many tips as I could to get ready for this session this morning and then the race. But it's just old school. I mean, it reminds me of those tracks with character way back in the day, and the narrowness and the high speed and obviously the runoff. So I wanted to take it easy and build up the pace, but this car on this track is just absolutely phenomenal. It's amazing. It's so much fun.
A great family tradition for the Brabham family racing here on Memorial Day. Welcome to Lime Rock Park.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait.
Let's move down to Ken Thwaites. Ken, the driver of the number 7, will start from the outside of the front row. Ken, on Saturday we saw Misha Goikberg use the outside line at the start to take the lead. Is that move going to work for you?
Hey, man, thanks for the tip. I'll take you up on that. Who knows? Chris is pretty experienced, and you know, we're just going to take what, you know, is given to us. It's a long race. It's hotter out. It's slippery. So, you know, I'm going to take my time, see what happens.
That is Ken Thwaites. He will start from the outside of the front row in number 7. Let's go down here to the car that will start from the pole position. Chris Dyson, do we have what it takes for a trifecta here on Memorial Day?
Well, as you know, Greg, you got to take it 1 lap at a time here at Lime Rock. I think we got a pretty good car off the truck here. It's a lot to condense into one day, but the guys have given me a terrific handling car here, and I'm looking forward to putting the Altwell car in victory lane again here.
What about the factor of the heat today? It's been a kind of a cool springtime, but now all of a sudden it's going to be a torrid day. What effect will that have on the man and the machine?
I think the biggest thing is just obviously pacing yourself and looking after the tires. I think that's going to be the challenge, but that's the way it is in Trans Am. It's Memorial Day at Lime Rock, sun shining, the crowd's here. Couldn't be happier.
You are also the Motul Pole Award winner, a new track record at 49.832. That gets you down to prototype times.
Yeah, we're going real fast here. You know, Dad starts bringing up the 80s, and we point at the timesheets, and he starts laughing about it. But yeah, they're going real fast. These Trans Am cars are the fastest road racing GT cars in the world right now, and it's a thrill to be up here.
That is Chris Dyson. He will go from the number 1 position in car number 20. As we reposition ourselves, let's send it up to Johnny.
Great stuff, Greg, and we'll hear more from Greg as the weekend continues. But I'm now joined by the one and only Adam Andretti, and I'm just thinking about those times you've raced TA around here. 49.8, that's pretty swift.
Oh, no, that's getting it. No, that's absolutely getting it around here. Obviously, these teams, they get quicker and quicker each year, but also it's been no secret. We know that Pirelli's brought this off. 18-inch tire. With that new package came the bigger brake package, so when you can take advantage of all those things like you can here. Honestly, that was one of my questions that I was asking the drivers is, you know, you already caught, even in the previous lap times 2-3 seconds slower, you would still catch a lot of air on the uphill, and I was like, are you guys worried about blowing over now? And it's still manageable, so they're not there, but these speeds that they're running, it's a really, really fun racetrack at that.
Yeah, and it's a real shame that Tommy Dreese won't be out there because, just to reiterate what was just said by Tommy, he came across an incident during qualifying that involved Amy Ruman. Amy Ruman lost power steering, dropped fluid down, came immediately into the pits, I may add. But it was too late for Tommy to understand that there was fluid down. He came on his normal line, and it just shot him into the wall at 7 and wrecked the whole of the side of the car. In fact, it took a long time to get him out because it hit the driver's side, obviously, and he was kind of packed in there, couldn't get out the car.
Yeah, Yeah, and I tell you what, out of all the racing fluids you have inside of a race car, power steering fluid is among the slickest.
Is it?
It's like bull snot. There's nothing that'll grab a hold of that. So Tommy was definitely a passenger at that point, and feel horrible for him, for all of GT3 Motorsports and everyone that works so hard down there, and they're packing up that red race car with long faces because it didn't happen during a race. They didn't get to show their colors for 100 miles or anything along those lines, or even get a shot at it, and that's tough. And I like all of us racers, our hearts go out to Tommy, and any of us know that we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect out here, and I don't even think that was a 100% mistake. That's a misunderstanding of the conditions and what they were out there. And power steering fluid is not the easiest thing to see as well. So I know that again, heart goes out to him. It's a tough one.
Yeah, and it is a tough one. And as we look down, you heard from Matthew Brabham and Ken Thwaites. Now, they're the competition for what is an absolutely on-form Chris Tyson. He is racing at home. He grew up here. He came to the track when he was just a little boy and watched his father race here. He learned his racing chops here, if you will, and the Dyson family are synonymous with Lime Rock, which is ominous and synonymous, because the thing is that Chris Tyson has been on such great form. He just did his West Coast tour, and actually that led to a triple win for Dyson. So he leads the championship by a country mile at the moment. And I've been saying all along, if you're going to stop Dyson, you better do it before Lime Rock, because he's odds on to win here.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I mean, this is home track. They can almost smell the fumes from their home in Poughkeepsie, New York. So,
yep.
It's definitely a place that the Dysons have had a lot of success here. They race for a lot here, right? Every family member, friend, everyone shows up to support them. So when you have that kind of support, as we're on board there with Ken Thwaites and the Franklin Road Apparel on board shot, but when you have that, you almost get that extra. It's almost like when you see on the world stage in a Formula One race, if you will, when you get to their home Grand Prix, they just have something extra, and this is kind of like the home Grand Prix, if you will, for our very own Chris Tyson.
Yeah, and talking to Matthew Brabham this morning, he's only driven a TA car once before, and he took it to a win. That was last year when Chris Tyson couldn't make Cota. He'd already wrapped up the championship, had Tyson, and so Matthew got in the car, had a great battle with Ernie Francis Jr. and won. But he was at the Indy 500 yesterday. He got the call. Hamed Masood couldn't make it, and so therefore Chris Tyson called again on his good friend, and here he is. Here's the grid then. Chris Tyson in pole position with that brilliant 49.8. Ken Thwaites alongside him. Then on row 2, it's Brabham and Amy Ruman. Amy Ruman definitely in the hunt for the overall title. Fix is back. Paul Fix comes back in a TA Heritage car in 5th place. Jason Berkeley is in 6th. Billy Griffin 7th. Michael Sayer in 8th position. Randy Hale 9th. Danny Lowry in 10th position. And will not start this race. Tommy Dreesy involved in that accident that we mentioned earlier and pretty much wrote off the left-hand side of that car. Great crowd here, and there's your flyover. And boy, was he low. that rattled the windows.
I think, did he almost get the drone?
I think, yeah, I think that frightened. Our drone pilot isn't frightening, if anything, and even he looked a little bit nervous there as he started to lower down. Well, you wouldn't want to get stuck in our drone in those propellers, would you?
Yeah, we're so blessed to be able to support our fallen heroes the way we do on Memorial Day, and to do it in style here at Lime Rock Park, and to do it expressing the freedoms that they fought so hard for, and ultimately paid the ultimate price for us, and that we can sometimes take for granted. So this is a great day to reflect and send a lot of love out to those that lost those, and a bunch of appreciation. We love it, Memorial Day.
No question. Good words, Adam Andretti. Well, birds in the air, birds on the track. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
The next generation of communication is here with Allgram, the decentralized all-in-one communication platform. Your unique digital ID is hosted on the blockchain for the most secure peer-to-peer communication experience in the world. Chat, voice call, and video call seamlessly, triple encrypted, and decentralized. That means you're protected. We can't share, sell, or use your data in any way. Nobody is accessing your data, and Allgram validates every user on the blockchain. Plus, the app just works really well. Schedule calls and meetings, or create private or public clubs to use however you want. This is Allgram. Simplified, secure communication. Your data is yours.
Welcome back to Lime Rock Park. As you can see, the breeze picking up, but it's a glorious day. Adam Andretti with me, Jonathan Green, and quite different than Saturday's conditions, which were atrocious rain, as we've come to expect from Lime Rock. But really, if you were a racing driver, this is perfect to go racing, isn't it?
Man, I'm so envious of their conditions today. No, this is a beautiful day to go racing here at Lime Rock Park, and yeah, I mean, you can see from the drone shot here the paddock and the fans, and this is the energy inside this place has just been fantastic all week long. Even when the weather was dreary, the fans were in. I mean, I was in the thick of it there in the campground, the family campground, and we've gotten to know some new friends there, and it's been just a really, really special weekend here at Lime Rock Park and Memorial Day weekend, and I can't thank the ownership group here enough, and SCCA Pro and SVRA and of course Trans Am to put on a spectacle like this. It's fantastic. And yesterday's car show, oh my goodness, I mean, I was just amazed at the people that came through the car show. Again, it was a glorious day, so it just absolutely worked out great.
Yeah, and really looking forward to this. 100 miles, one of the shortest tracks, in fact, the shortest track we go to in the year, just over a mile or so, and it's an iconic circuit that's been open since the late 50s, and all the greats have won here. And if you look at the board just outside of our commentary booth, you can see all the great winners that go back in Trans Am history, back to Revson, who won the first race, I think, in a Cougar. And so we've had all the greats have come here and been part of Trans Am's history, which now celebrates this year its 55th year of coming to this Lime Rock Park circuit. But 7 corners, it sounds easy on paper. It is not.
No, it's not, and it's 7 really unchanged corners, a classic layout that we do here from the history that you speak about. And to add to that history for our fans out there that really pay attention close, you might have remembered last year I mentioned this, but this is also the site of my Uncle Mario's first ever road course victory.
That's right.
And so this is a very special place in a lot of ways, and holds a lot of motorsports history. And I personally love it. I think it's a really fun track to drive. It's like being on a roller coaster. It takes a lot of commitment, and there's not a lot of room for error as you've seen displayed throughout the weekend. So it's going to be a very special 100 miles here to watch, and it's survival. You know, all the competitors I talked to here, they were all about surviving this one. Tire deg is going to be high because of the green nature of the racetrack from all the rain before today's race. So tire deg is going to be high, and it's going to be managing those rear tires because you slip them all the way up that uphill, and as the cars get very, very light. So it's going to be a really exciting show for us here, Jonathan. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, all of the great names, as I mentioned, have been here. The Andrettis have been here, and Brabhams have been here, and of course now Matthew taking his part of that legacy as he takes to the Lime Rock circuit for the first time. Let's head down to the grid. Greg Ricks is getting ready for the start of this one. Down to you, Greg.
As we reflect on the sacrifices that form the foundation of Memorial Day, please join me in welcoming our honor guard from VFW Post 6851 in Canaan, Connecticut. And now, to deliver today's invocation, it's my pleasure to introduce the Reverend Heidi Truex from the Trinity Church.
Let us pray. On this fine Memorial Day, we remember our fallen servicemen and women who faithfully served our country and gave their lives to protect our freedoms in wars past and present circumstances. The Lord was their shepherd through danger, through suffering, through the gate of death to everlasting peace. We are a grateful nation. And we honor this day all who are currently serving in the armed forces. Many women and men are on duty today who don't know when or where they may be called to put their lives on the line for our sake, to protect and defend us. We are a grateful nation. And we're grateful fans here today at the Trans Am Memorial Day Classic to cheer on the talented race car drivers, teams, and pit crews of our races today. We pray your blessing, Lord God, upon all who compete. And we pray in thanksgiving for the EMTs, safety personnel, corner guards, race officials, food servers, and a special shout out today for ticket takers and the Civil Air Patrol who parks our cars. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd now ask you all to please stand it is my pleasure to introduce Katie Weiser from the Sharon Playhouse for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We'll have once the race starts, but it is a family tradition for the Dysons to be here on Memorial Day.
It sure is, and other weekends as well. When I first started club racing, we did 3 races a year here, all the big events, Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. So this place it's a special place. It's a special place for a lot of reasons, not just for our family, but for everybody. I mean, it's a great environment to see car racing, and you see great competition. It's a great area of the country, and it's just a thrill to be here every time I drive through the gate.
And now the words that the fans have been waiting to hear.
Drivers, start your engines.
So with that roar and that command, we are ready for Lime Rock 2022, the Memorial Day Classic from Lime Rock Park. It's been a tradition that goes back so many years. The Dysons a huge part of it, and Chris Dyson ready to go for 3 in a row, having won the last 2 races here at Lime Rock in this number 20 Altwell Mustang.
Yeah, I talked to him this morning. He's poised for it. He sat on pole. New track record yet again. This has been the story of the season, and he's on a planet of his own right now, Jonathan Green, and I think we're going to see a witness to that again today. And but it's going to be a good, hard-fought battle, and we're looking forward to watching this 100 miles. That's for sure.
You've been wheel to wheel with Chris over the years. What is it about his racing that makes him such an immaculate racer?
He's very focused. He's like I said, almost otherworldly focused. The way he goes about his business, and he takes this racing business very, very seriously. And not that I don't, or not that anyone that races against him does. It's just that's where you see an edge on him. He's very, very strong. He's headstrong. He doesn't make a lot of unforced errors. So when you race against him, you have to make some. And that's the challenge of racing against Chris Dyson. He really does race with cleanliness and smoothness, and it shows up every weekend.
Well, we'll be on board with this man from Franklin Road Apparel, Ken Thwaites, and Ken in 3rd position in that car there that you see, and there's his onboard shot. He is going to be behind the man of the moment, Chris Tyson, and we'll see from him. Oh no! Just what he doesn't need, and we're on board with him, and Ken spins it round while warming up the tires. Adam, have you ever seen that happen like that?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's cold tires, and that can happen real quick and easy. And Ken's actually gridded up P2 because Tommy Dreese, is not starting the race.
Sure.
So Ken will be starting on the front row. I imagine he'll get his position back.
Yeah.
I don't think they punish you for that. And but he just needs to be careful, get those tires good and warm, and he'll be fine. No worse for the wear there. Just brush that one off, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, and he hasn't broken any rules yet. He just spun the car. He just needs to come through.
Yep.
So here is the onboard of Chris Tyson in the Altwell onboard number 20. This has been the car to beat all season long. He had one mistake, just the one. We were there to watch it at Charlotte, where he had, everybody was struggling.
Wasn't
with
really
the
a
new tires.
mistake.
It wasn't
Yeah,
a mistake.
no,
it was a tire issue, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had a tire deg issue and on the right front. So no, that's the pass. They move forward, and it's been they've been flawless. They haven't had any issues. Pirelli's been flawless, and obviously CD Racing has just been hitting it out of the ballpark. And they brought an extra bullet in the chamber this weekend by calling in Matty Brabham. Nothing but the massive amount of respect for Matty Brabham behind the wheel of that 21 all-Graham Ford Mustang.
Yeah, and of course Matt Brabham currently in the Indy Lights Championship, taking on our former champion, of course, Ernie Francis Jr. So good luck to Matt in Indy Lights, and he's going well there in the top 10 at the moment. It's still early in their season, but he was at the 500 yesterday, got the call, and here he is.
Yeah, he was driving the two-seater yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
At Indy and gets a call and never been here before. His first laps were in qualifying, and as we all know from his interview, but he's done a stellar job. So I honestly say that he's a guy that to watch. He's going to really charge through the field, especially as each lap gets better and better and better for him.
Well, like I said, his one-off run was a win in Dyson's car, and he's now in Who Made Masood's car. He's a former 2012 US 2000 champion and a Pro Mazda open wheel champion, so he has got all the accolades. Chris Tyson following that safety car around. Tell us about the track. Adam, you were on it just a couple of days ago. Like I said, it's narrow, it's tricky, but it's also very technical.
Yeah, it is, and they're getting ready to come to the green, and they did not give Ken Thwaites a spot back. He's going to be coming from the tail, but this is going to be the green flag here. Jonathan Green.
Here we go then, and away goes Chris Tyson into the lead. The McNichols 23 on the outside of Amy Ruman, and Matt Brabham slotting in to second place. Will try to hold off Amy Ruman. He can't do it, and Amy Ruman goes high and wide round the outside of Big Ben and will slot into second place. Nicely done by the two-time champion herself, Amy Ruman, in that number 23 Corvette.
What an awesome job holding her ground right there. That's actually known. You can find grip on the outside, as you guys. Someone spoke of Misha Goikhberg on Saturday doing the same thing, and so really great move there by Amy Ruman to hold on to second place. We're on board here with Ken Thwaites. Going to fight his way through the pack, be patient. Ken has really shown that to be really good quality of his racing in the Trans Am Series is the patience, as we see Matty Brabham here in the 21 all-Grand Ford Mustang for CD Racing.
You know, you made a good word there, patient, because I asked your teammate Rafa Matos what the key to Lime Rock was, and he said patience. He said because being aggressive is fine, but if you get aggressive all the time at Lime Rock, it'll bite you big time. As Dyson dives into Big Bend for the second time of asking. Good start from Paul Fix. Great to have Paul Fix here in that Jaguar. Its own history of brilliance here at Lime Rock, and he's brought it out as basically a heritage entry, but boy, it's competitive.
He dominated here 13, 14, 15, 3 years in a row. He took the checkered flag here in the Trans Am Series, so he knows a thing or two about Lime Rock, and he did this first win, I think, at 13. That was after 7 years of not even driving a race car and coming in and just laying it down. So yeah, it's great to see him in the TA Heritage class. That's a car that's got a lot of history and that we learned about earlier in the show. But in '99, it was the Home Link Ford Mustang. As we're looking here at this Chevrolet Camaro, the Franklin Road apparel of Ken Thwaites has already made his way through the field to be right behind that Jaguar that we were talking about of Paul Fix.
Yeah, Ken Thwaites has got a big job on his hand, but I'm sure he's up to the task. The former XGT champion who turned to TA just a couple of years ago, now runs a four-man team, which includes Cameron Lawrence and Rydquist as well. But of course, he races that himself, Ken Thwaites, in TA, and he is a big backer of TA as well, because of course he's got a hand, the Franklin Road Apparel team have a hand in sponsoring the August event at Nashville, his hometown. as now Tyson building on that lead. It was great to hear from his dad, and obviously this is a family affair, the Lime Rock Memorial Weekend. As I mentioned earlier, Chris Tyson came here as a 7-year-old watching his father and many others, because their team, Dyson team, were also big in the sports car world here. So many a race weekend spent here learning for Chris Tyson, but he got his chance and learned through the ranks, and he now is top of his game.
Let's talk about this two-time champ here in second place of Amy Ruman. Really keeping Chris Dyson honest up here at the front of the field. Chris's fastest lap is a 52.6, and Amy's fastest lap is actually 52.2, 0.4 of a second faster that last time by. So Amy in the McNichols Chevrolet Corvette is showing why she's a two-time champ of this business here. As we look here, Danny Lowry in SGT in the Porsche 911, the Bridge Hall Porsche 911 GT. What a great looking package that is. This track is almost built for the Porsche package, Jonathan Green.
Yeah, no question. Bridge Hall taking a win yesterday with Thomas Merrill. I say yesterday, I should say Saturday, 2 days ago. Chris Tyson, though, we're on board with him as he comes out of 7 and onto the Samposi front straight. This is the longest straight here. How hard is Big Ben? Because it seems to go on forever.
You know, it loads up the left front, and you're really happy that the left-hander is after that, because it kind of lets the left front get a little bit of a break, because the rest of the lap, it's very, very active on that tire. So this is, the left side tires are a real challenge for this race. You have to keep that balance underneath them, and you really have to really manage the throttle. I'm sure that's what's happening. These two leaders between Chris Dyson and Amy Ruman is it's all about keeping the input smooth. You want to keep the steering input smooth so you don't damage that right front tire and grow it too big too early. And you got to be smooth on the pedals, because you can really grow the rear tires in a heartbeat here. I mean, we saw that in qualifying. You can actually watch the lap times instantly once the rears got overpressured. We saw the lap times kind of level off and actually fall off. And because there's that sweet spot for tire pressure with these Pirellis.
So let me ask you this. If there are 6 right-handers, 1 left-hander, how do you set the car up?
Well, there's a couple different theories on that. There's people that do set it up as an opposite oval.
Yeah.
Where you want the car to kind of lead to the right to feed you through the right-handers, and it makes a left-hander, which is kind of a throwaway turn as far as racing-wise. You don't need to worry about too many passes being made there or anything like that. It's kind of if the theory is, if whatever time you lose in the left-hander to the perimeter setup, if you will, a standard road course setup, you're going to make up by really getting through the right-handers. But, it really comes down to driver preference and what teams want to do. But it really makes this place a fascinating exercise in not only engineering but also in driving.
Paul Fix under pressure now in 4th place. He's got Thwaites, who's had to recover from a spin on the warm-up lap. They let him start at the back. I thought they were going to put him in his position, but he's now at turn 7 and on the main straight, going to make a pass on Paul Fix for 4th place. So here comes Ken Thwaites. Next up, it's Brabham. That is not going to be easy. It's never easy to get past Paul Fix, 3-time winner here at Lime Rock in a row, I may add. But now Thwaites has done it. He's got to catch Brabham if he can, who's currently in 3rd place.
Yeah, there's a 6-second gap between now Ken Thwaites and Matty Brabham, so that's going to be a lot to overcome. But this is Lime Rock Park. Amy Ruman right there has got a battle coming on her hands with Matty Brabham. As a matter of fact, just as we speak, we got Matty now right into the fight. As I said, I really thought that a driver of his caliber and skill, having never been to Lime Rock Park, he's just going to pick up things lap after lap after lap, and he's been rolling behind this 2-time champion now since the beginning of this race, just learning the little nuances that Amy Ruman knows so well about this place. This has always been one of her better tracks, and so it's great to see the performances where it's at. But we're going to have a great battle here between these two great talents.
Yeah, from Ohio, of course. Now Amy probably more comfortable at tracks like Lime Rock and Mid-Ohio coming up after this, so she wants to put on a good performance here. Back with the leader, Dyson, who's pulling away at the front. He's putting in some really good lap times so far. 7 laps gone here on the 8th lap as he goes up the hill. Car gets light up here, but here comes Brabham down No Name Straight. Where, Adam Andretti, will he make the move?
I'm looking into Big Bend, or I'm also looking into, there's always, the chance into Big Bend is really your spot. That's probably the best and safest bet. This is a challenging place to get around. You can snooker around, but, this quality that we got up front here, it's going to be not a snooker move. It's going to be a real bravery move that's going to happen. As Amy takes a defensive line here, she was able to hold on the outside, and she's going to see if Maddie Brabham learned a thing or two on that one. But tucks it back in, and this is going to be a good battle here. Like I said, Lime Rock's not the toughest place to get around, but kind of be an opportunistic feeder here. You're always kind of pressuring the driver in front of you and hoping for a mistake.
What about a move at the end of this straight, no name straight, before the hill?
The uphill, it can be done. It's a little bit more doable when you run the chicane because you're hard on the brakes to make the chicane, but you carry so much momentum and so much speed up the uphill. You really almost need that driver in front of you to make a mistake getting onto no name straight for that to happen.
Down the hill they come and into 7. He possibly could make a barge move into 7 on the inside, but it's not the race line. Now's the time to get the drive, and now is exactly what Matt Brabham is doing. He comes alongside Amy Ruman and does take second place away from Amy Ruman, and that is a nice, clean Lime Rock pass.
Absolutely. He set that up 2 corners ago. He gave the space, and then when he got to the downhill, he was able to tag the throttle really early, hold the inside, show the commitment to the inside, so then it kind of freezes Amy because the rule states you can't move to defend once that has been shown, and that is blocking. So he froze Amy. That was a legendary move by Maddie Brabham. He really did a great job to make that happen, and really Amy, great job too, sitting there P3, and I think that this is going to be a heck of a battle, too, here for the last spot on the podium as this race develops.
As you can see, our leader, Chris Tyson, starting to make his way through the traffic and doing a really good job of it, too, using the front straight where there is the most space to make those moves, make them nice and clear to those he's passing. He doesn't want to get into trouble, and that's the worst thing when you've got a lead like this of over 7 seconds, is to be not aware from the other cars around you. But you are the one. You have the responsibility. They're in their own race.
Yeah, no, he absolutely dropped the hammer. You know, he's out there, setting best lap times every time out, and he went out and threw down a 51.5, which is just an absolutely stellar lap time around this place, full of fuel like it is. So. He went ahead and really kind of babied those Pirellis to begin with, and is taking full advantage of that now. As his teammate, Maddie Brabham, here is comfortably in second place now, working the traffic.
Yeah, they had a test session in the wet. Not many people went out in that. Matt was still driving 2-seaters round at the 500 up until yesterday, but jumped on a plane and he's here now. So this is his first time here. I spoke to him this morning and he said, "Wow, it's narrow."
Yeah. This is a classic track, and he's such a historian of the sport, as am I, and I think our heritage does something for that. It gives us an extra something to pay attention to, but he really appreciates the history that this place brings. I saw a huge smile on his face after qualifying. He's having a ball. He couldn't be happy to be back here with CD Racing. He's kind of on call, there whenever Hume can't make it, he's one of the guys on call, and I know he's always happy to do it. But yeah, he's doing a great job of Indy Lights. He's currently 5th in the championship. He drives for none other than Andretti Autosport, so I got to give a shout out to that deal. But yeah, he won the first race out of the box there at St. Pete.
Sorry, St. Pete.
So he's done himself a great job. So it's great to have him back in the Trans Am paddock. He's such a wonderful personality, as you saw his interviews. Just he's always glowing with positivity.
As always with Michael Andretti, he spotted Matthew Brabham because we know in the racing world what Matt's been doing. He's been doing truck racing, and I think he kind of he won a couple of titles here in the States and kind of ran out of money or ran out of chances, and he's just been battling on, racing what he can. He's done a bit of historics, he's done the truck racing, but now he's back in Indy Lights with Andretti Autosports, and I've got a feeling we will see him in the 500 very soon indeed.
I do too. As we're looking at this really this battle for the last spot on the rostrum, the last spot on the podium between Amy Ruman and Ken Thwaites has really heated up. The GT traffic, kind of Amy caught him right at the wrong time. You don't want to catch him right through that big bend left-hander complex like she did, unfortunately. That was just super bad luck, but that brought Ken Thwaites right into the fight in his Franklin Road Apparel Chevrolet Camaro. So this is Chevy against Chevy, the Corvette versus the Camaro. That's always fun to watch, and one of the unique things about the Trans Am Series is to have that.
Yeah, no question about it. Corvette have been a huge part of this, and Amy Ruman, the Mickles sort of combination, they've stuck with that Corvette throughout the last few years, and it's been successful in the past, but the last few years have been fallow. She's had the odd win here or there, but she's on good form this season, and as we're seeing it play out today, and remember, she's in contention for the title with Tommy Greasy out today. He started this weekend on 133 points to Dyson's 157. Ruman and Thwaites are only 2 points apart from each other. So Thwaites, as he comes up now in the number 7, will want to get past Amy Ruman to try to see if he can get third in the championship, leaving Lime Rock with Mid-Ohio coming up, where she's bound to be one of the favorites.
Oh, this is a very important battle for a lot of reasons, but especially for that championship as I come up on some more GT lab traffic there. That's Randy Hale in the XGT Corvette. That thing's got a lot of power, so it's not like they could just blow by him on the take some doing. So they got that cleared. Randy did a great job of making sure that he didn't hold up this race between those two. He's got his race of his own. He's dominating in that whole class there. He's really running away with that, and he's turning some great lap times as well in that 31 Whelen Chevrolet Corvette. It's a beautiful car, and what a great sounding machine it is. To see Chris Dyson full commitment on this downhill, because you know what he's got going? He's got his teammate Matty Brabham really kind of clicking off the lap times and keeps on doing personal best after personal best. So Chris Dyson may, if this field tends to bunch back up or Matt starts really getting that pace down, this could end up being a heck of a race between teammates, Jonathan Green. Who knows?
No question. And I think that Dyson will allow Brabham to race him hard, because that's what he's brought in to do. Here comes Thwaites on the main straight, goes to the outside. And Amy will try to defend. She stays on the inside. She does get good drive through Big Bend, and Thwaites has to hold off. But he's right there, all over as we go on board now with the Franklin Road Apparel on board.
I'm sure Cameron Lawrence is on the radio with his boss there, Ken, saying, buddy, you've got this. This is patience. It's an exercise of patience. You got the speed and the pace. Go ahead and take your time and set up this pass, right? The duo of Chris Dyson and Matty Brabham, they've checked out. Shouldn't even be on his radar that they've let go. Like, this is all about that spot for third, and I'm sure Cameron's on the horn with them about that one. And I've seen something develop here on our feed, and that's Paul Fix has been 3 laps down, so I'm guessing he's in the pits with some sort of mechanical. So it's a shame to see that they are no longer out there doing their thing.
Right.
So here
Good
we
eyes.
are, right on key. 77 StopFlex.com car coach reports.
And
Jaguar XKRS.
Yeah, the hood is off, so something's up and untoward, and you don't have any pit stops in this, so they're getting tyres ready, but we'll see if we can get him back out. But that's a real shame, and there looks to be a little bit of damage maybe to the rear right. He may have had a ding there somewhere, because there's a little bit of bodywork damage, which wasn't noticeable yesterday anyway.
Yeah, you never know. I've been close enough to the car to know if that's the case. But back to this battle for third place between the two-time champ of Amy Ruman and Ken Thwaites, our XGT champion from 2 years ago. So this is an exciting battle here that's developing, and I think this is going to be not a cut and dry one. I think we're going to see this one carry on for a lot of this race. This might be our action, our big key action here for today.
If I've learned anything from watching Amy Ruman in her battles with the likes of Tommy Dreesy over the years, she is a hard lady to pass. When she has the bit between her teeth, she does really good defensive driving. I was talking about it in the single-seaters. It's one thing to be fast at a racetrack. It's another to be fast and drive defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a whole different challenge that you bring to the ball game here, and that's the case.
Very, very close indeed. It's only a matter of time, surely, between these two. But like I said, patience is the key here at Lime Rock. And again, she's getting she's going as fast as she can, but she's also aware that Ken's probably got a little bit of pace on her, would you argue?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing that's tricky when you got cars that are aero-sensitive and they're at a really fast racetrack with fast, high-speed corners like the downhill they just went through there. That's a very fast corner, and when you need that front downforce and you're tucked up in front of you, you can't get that grip on the front.
Ken,
and
where are you going?
Ken gets in there deep, nice, and holds on to it.
Oh, he did a good job of hanging on to it. She braked very early, though,
yeah.
And I think she was taking a sort of an aggressive yet defensive pose. Ken basically braked later, but then caused himself to have to slot back in, because he could have gone too wide there at the exit of turn 1, but really impressive.
Yeah, that was some good driving on both parts. Yeah, that was fun to watch. And I definitely thought the way that looked, the optical illusion that provided, what you said there, I honestly thought, Ken, we were pitching it off. So great job and great racing between these two competitors. And Trans Am champions.
Well, that was an interesting little bit of action there, and I'd like you to describe it, Adam, because, like I said that Amy was getting defensive. You tell me what you see.
Right there, yeah, she's using the part of the road that you're allowed to use. She made the move first. I don't believe she went over defensive, but she left racing room on the outside, but Ken couldn't carry the momentum. She was able to release the brake and carry the momentum on the inside, and that's just good racing. And so that's the stuff we like to see. Good competitive racing here in the Trans Am class between these great champions of Trans Am.
Where else have you got to defend that you might be thinking or watching in your mirrors for an attempt on that you would have been expecting? I think I saw Tyson or Rafa make a move down through 6th this time last year, coming up on this part of the curve.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it really all depends on the mistakes or lack thereof of the driver in front of you. If you got a driver that's making some mistakes in front of you, then yes, like I was speaking before, you can be an opportunistic feeder here and kind of make anything into a pass if you take the corner away. But to set up a car takes, you have to do it down here on the San Posey Straight, getting into Big Bend. It's the only way that you're going to get it done. This big long right-hander and taking that away, that's your best opportunity.
A little bit of a traffic.
The good news is the lap is so short that you get that opportunity like every 45 seconds, 50 seconds. So and that's another thing about this track. It's so short and so demanding that being mistake-free is not an option here. So when I say capitalizing on mistakes, it's because you know that they're going to be made. They're going to be made both on your part as you're battling, but also on the competitor in front of you.
Well, the gap that was 7 seconds is now down to 4, so Dyson not out of the woods, but it's his teammate behind him, so I don't think he's going to be too worried. But Dyson with his own problems now.
Matty is still setting personal best, and this is the traffic, and this is what will set up, the rundown into one. So, now that could be kind of looked at by the officials a little bit because she kept moving.
He's
but this
got
good
her this
driving.
time.
Oh, look at that cleared.
He's made it stick
Great
this time.
pass on
Same
the
move.
outside.
Yep, same move as he was thinking of last time. She is able to defend as well because of the other car involved. So basically, as you said, it might be looked at, but either way, good driving from Thwaites.
No, I don't think so. But I think what Amy did there was she took so much of the inside road, though, that she had to slow down so much for the corner, and that's what gave Ken the arc of the corner, and Ken was able to hold that momentum and carry it. So good on you, Ken Thwaites. Really nice done. Now you just pull the trigger and go after those top two if you can.
Yep, why not? And he'll be hoping that there might be a safety car or something similar because he's got a long way to catch up. He's 20 seconds off. And you can see, you can't even see him on the main straight as he comes towards the line. There's your leader, and we'll see second place in a moment. There he is, Matthew Brabham, creeping ever closer in that white and blue number 21, who made Masood, of course, the usual driver in that car, but currently not able to make it because of business concerns. But Matthew Brabham stepping in brilliantly, and the perfect guy, the ringer, if you like, to bring into the team.
Yeah, no, Matt, and that's a special talent. We all know that, and it's great to have him back in this paddock. It's a lot of fun. So you take a look at the replay of this pass. See, she's using up so much road there on the passenger side there on the right-hand side that there is absolutely no arc for her in the corner, so she had to really slow that corner down, and that gave Ken Thwaites the roll on the outside. But absolutely fantastic racing between those two competitors. Great stuff to see there.
And that's how it's done at Lime Rock. Brilliantly done then by Ken Thwaites. 24 laps gone at the 68. Dyson, Brabham and Thwaites. Brabham getting ever closer to the front man, Dyson. And it's only going to be a matter of time until their line astern, but they've got Thwaites coming as well.
Just got word that Paul Fix and the 77 has retired from TA Heritage. So sad to see that come to the finalization. I know how well they run there. It's a family affair here too. They all come together here, and it's great to always see the Fix family. And it's a shame that their day's over early, but I think they'll be back later on. And they have big plans for that car. I think they may they're talking about restoring it back to its original livery and its original glory. So as we take a look here at Matty Brabham, the All-Graham Ford Mustang. All-Graham app. I know they're going to be running some ads during their weekend here, but very, very unique in the sense that you own your data and you own it, through, it's a communication. So it's all your text messages and your emails and your social media, and you own all that, and it's free. So while you can on the Google Play Store, you can go ahead and download that one for free and check out and see what kind of advantages there are for you in your personal life. But a really, really good support here from Allgram on that 21 car.
So we are getting towards the midpoint of this race, and 25 of the 68 laps gone, and it's been Dyson all the way leading in TA. At the moment, Hale leading XGT, and SGT being led by Berkeley at the moment. And in GT, it's Sire in that number 13. Had a close look at that Michael Sire car yesterday. Beautifully prepared.
Yeah, that's a cool car. I mean, it rattles this whole tower as it rolls out of here, but yeah, it screams, and it's got that Wheeling paint job on it, but yeah, it's a really neat deal. It's a Hale propeller, actually, is who supports that package. So I don't want to miss out on those partnership opportunities. So I apologize but that livery just stood out to me as that. So, but Randy Hale inside that Hale propeller. And Chevrolet Corvette is doing a fantastic job in XGT, holding P6 overall, P5 overall, so getting himself a top 5 finish overall here wouldn't be a bad day.
And if you want to join Adam Andretti afterwards, he'll be somewhere in that circle, I think, of RVs. I just let the drone shot.
No, it's a wonderful place to be. I'll tell you, there's, it's hard to think of than Lime Rock Park to be on this weekend.
I'll bet, yeah.
And this atmosphere inside there, and the people we've gotten to know and meet, and they got a little bit of a detachment there on the front there. That's causing a little drag, but no worse for the wear. That's something that I would definitely get sealed off for our next round when we get to it with that car. But something to take note of for that great race team. But yeah, this is really a lot of action here through the GT class, and that's really bottling things up for the two-time champ there, Amy Ruman, sitting P4 overall on that McNichols Chevrolet Corvette.
Yeah, she's trying to get out of action's way at the moment with these three cars because they're in their own battle, and she's just trying to weave her way through. She's got a much faster car, obviously, the unlimited TA class of 850 brake horsepower and not more if you want, and it's really interesting to see them try to weave their way through the other classes.
No, it certainly is. It certainly is, and Chris has gone ahead and stretched that gap back out to almost a 10-second gap here on his teammate. So really the battles have spread themselves out amongst the TA class. So our racing is right here in the GT class. I saw Billy Griffin right before we went to got up here to the booth, and he's excited about the race. He's excited about the track, qualifying or his first laps. Here he's really learning and liking this car a lot, so it's great to see the smile on his face and the joy back in the sport for him, and he's out there doing a fantastic job running PT currently right there in the GT class. But this is a race for the win here between himself and Michael Saya.
Interesting enough, we've been looking at Michael Saya in that Porsche in the middle of this group. He's also a multiple veteran of two-wheel races. He's done AMA Superbike races. I've forgotten about that. Well worth a mention, the car that you see in the middle there of this shot. So he's done two- and four-wheel racing, has Michael in the number 13. He's got Griffin, though, behind him, a former GT champion.
You know how much respect I have for the two-wheel guys, Johnny Green, so that's awfully cool to hear. So good on you, Michael, and Michael Saya doing a fantastic job again. Leading Billy Griffin, a guy, nice regular here. But like I said, this place is like Porsche built, and they got the overall leader here, Chris Tyson. And sometimes when you're trying to get out of the way for lap traffic, it can really kind of hurt your own race and your own battle that you're going to do. But I'm sure they're on the horn there with Chris and letting them know that the gap is plenty big. It's friendly fire coming from behind him with his teammate, Matty Brabham. So nothing really too big to be panicked about. But you're going to see that gap shrink down quite a bit with all this traffic that he hit, because I know Matty. He's gonna have the grip between his teeth, and he's gonna go ahead and fight through these people pretty quick.
But that's where Dyson has to be careful. The marshals come into play here to put the blue flags out to let him know that he's coming. He obviously has got to choose his moments. It's a narrow track. They are slower than him. They're in their own battle. They're concentrating on their battle, and it's for Dyson to kind of make sure he is tiptoeing, if you will, in a race car of that size.
He did that classic, prototype racing style, if you notice. Yep. Like endurance racing style. He came in on them and was just smooth and methodical and just cruised around them as clean as he could. As you're going to see Matty now coming up on the same group here, Matt Brabham coming through here into Big Bend. And he's probably going to be a little bit of the same, I would imagine. He doesn't need to Oh, look at that, all that air that Ken Twait. Man, I thought he was going to sit there and launch himself up into orbit.
Yeah, that gets very light. I noticed that. Parsons went out there. Cameron, who was helping us out in the TA2 the other day, we were watching your class go over that hill, and while it's not as powerful a car, it does get this hill I'm talking about here. The car goes very light. You could describe it better. What happens? How do you take that? Because do you want air? Surely that makes the car unstable.
Well, you can't avoid the air. You know,
Okay.
the amount of speed that you have to take at apex, you're going to catch air. So you're managing wheel spin because you don't want to do that kind of damage on the drivetrain, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to heat up the tire. So you're managing the wheel spin at that point, and also, yeah, you got to commit to the corner enough that the wheel is straight as you approach that uphill. If you got any kind of wheel in that, if you got the car not coming at it at a straight angle, then yeah, it gets a little twisted up and convoluted at the top of that hill. So yeah, it's very, very important to have the aim right and to carry the momentum from the corner that makes you do so.
Ken Twait still in third place, coming out of the last corner, turn 7, much smoother than before when he was in traffic. You can see on the left-hand side of this onboard how he goes through the motions and see when he brakes. I love these onboards we're getting. Really, really illustrative of what the drivers are doing. We were watching you a couple of days ago doing exactly that, watching your hands on the wheel, how you work, how your office, if you will, how you work your hands and how you keep the car smooth. From the outside, it all looks smooth, but we can see the little incremental movements on the steering wheel when we go on board.
Yeah, it's those onboard shots, that's what's so great. That's what has really brought our sport so much into the homes of all the race fans. And yeah, you get to see the inputs right there, like you see the onboard there looking right at Ken Twaits, and yeah, the minutia that goes into it, the little bits that you have to do to make the corner. When you're on the limit, you know, like you don't think about it because you're not on the limit driving to the grocery store. You know, so of course
that's not necessarily true for everyone.
No, not for everyone, but you know, but for the most, you know, they're not, you know, so the little movements don't matter. But in a race car, they certainly do. So, and then, you know, again, back to the uphill. If the folks at home want to know what that feels like, anybody that enjoys the thrill of a roller coaster, and as you come up over the hump after a real steep run, that's what that feels like. It's super, super light. It gives you the tickle belly syndrome. It's really a good fun, and it's again one of my favorite joys about the racetrack is really when you nail that uphill, you know you got it right. It makes lap time, and it's so rewarding. It's so fun.
You know, it's interesting. Ken Twaits is a really interesting illustration of what you can do as a racing driver. He started racing, in the 80s in Formula Master Pro Championship back in 1985 and raced at Long Beach Grand Prix 3 years in a row. He then took 35 years off.
Yeah. He ran business and, Precision Dynamics International, and they've... they do wonderful work for the auto manufacturers and promoting and training, and so he's run that business for all that time, and he's got he's an entrepreneur, so he's got Franklin Road Apparel there in Franklin, Tennessee, and he's a great joy. I've known him for 25 years. Gone to work for his company. He's a great man to be around, and love having him in this Trans Am paddock. He is so much fun to have here. He's brought like the talent of Cameron Lawrence back into TA2, and we've seen what a great job he's been doing there. So it's great to have Ken Twaits and a part of this paddock, and a real joy, and to see his product, how much better he gets week in and week out in these Trans Am cars. It's just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, interesting and nice words about Ken, and I agree wholeheartedly with every one of them. Ruman now with Tyson right behind her, but this is Dyson to a T. He won't care a jot. He'll get by her and keep on plowing on in the old well. Number 20.
Yeah, he will, and we're right here just past the halfway point of this race, and he's making short work of it, lapping up to 4th place of Amy Ruman. Here's what he's going to be working on here over the next couple laps. So Amy's going to want to hang on to that lead lap because of the you want to hang on to the lead lap, but B, if there's a caution or anything that comes out for whatever reason, you get to maintain that position, come back around, and kind of start your race right all over.
So Amy Ruman trying to hang on and stay on the lead lap, but as you can see, Dyson, as we look from above, going now no name straight. He'll be patient here, though. That's exactly what he's key to do right now. There's no need to rattle Amy or cause an incident either, because both of them need the points, and this is a championship that, although Dyson is dominating at the moment, things can change in motor racing. We've seen it happen a million times before. You don't count your eggs before they hatch, for sure.
No, you can't. In this place, it's It's a new place for 100 miles for this new Pirelli tires. So tangibles. How's it going to wear? I know the construction will stay together. I'm not worried about that, whatsoever. But how's it going to wear? Over 100 miles under these conditions. Track temperature is the hottest it's been since we got here last week. So I just really think about, I'm sure that's in the back of Chris's head. And you got Ken here stuck in that GT traffic that's got their own race again. So, again, he just needs to be patient, make sure he works through these nice and clean, click them off one by one like he's doing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's done. He's got one. He's got 2 more to do. He should get both of these guys on the main straight. He's certainly going to get Michael Sire, and he does. And now he'll be patient, I would have thought, and wait till he gets into left-hander to try to have a go at Berkeley. He's doing just that.
Yeah, Jason Berkeley seems to be rather aware that he's got a TA car behind him. He seems to be trying to move out of the way. And sometimes it's just best that you just keep driving your line like
careful,
he's doing.
Ken, careful.
Yep, just keep driving your line and let them leaders find their way through. But that allowed a little GT battle to come through there on Jason Berkeley, who is leading handily, I might say, in the SGT class.
So through goes Ken Thwaites. He made it stick, and he was in a hurry because he obviously wants to get back up there. Brabham now 5 seconds off Tyson. Tyson's still obviously leading this race as he has done for all 38 laps.
And this could be very opportunistic for Billy Griffin in the sense that if Jason Berkeley, who's in a different class, right, he's an SGT, so technically a little faster class in the GT class, if he could go mix it up there with Michael Saya, and that brings Michael back to Billy Griffin, then next thing you know, we have ourselves a battle for the lead there in GT.
Well, Saya's going to make sure he stays with the gap he's got on Billy Griffin, because we're looking at Griffin now in that GT number 14, former GT champion, of course, in a Mustang. So he's keeping a watchful eye as we go back on board with Ken Thwaites.
Yeah, this is some onboard shots there with that Franklin Road Apparel Chevrolet Camaro. You can look here at, you got here Randy Hale, again in the 31. That's that XGT class out there on an island all by himself.
Hale propeller, as you mentioned earlier.
It's good shots of the Sam Posey straight. Legend has it that legendary instructor from Skip Barber, Bruce McGinnis, I believe either landed his airplane or took off in his airplane on this straightaway.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
That's a lot of legend has it. But, but Bruce, if anyone knows Bruce, wouldn't be surprised by that being a fact and not just legend.
Yeah, you mentioned Hale propellers. They offer high-quality marine propulsion sales and repair. That's what the Propeller LLC does. Started back in 1995 with Randy Hale Jr. and Randy Hale III. His father and son team worked together to build this leading propeller repair facility.
Well, I hope I just didn't see something that's going to disturb Chris Tyson's race there, but he ran over some debris on the front straightaway there.
Tell me that.
And I certainly hope that doesn't create a puncture. But yeah, we had some debris on the front straightaway. He seemed to tack it pretty hard with his right front. And hopefully that doesn't cause a puncture and does not hurt Chris Tyson's day here today.
Marshall's doing a good job. They love their marshalling here at Lime Rock. Saw them all chatting before the weekend started, and they were all excited. You can see them like giddy school children, all getting ready to go out to their corners. And they've been doing this for many years, so they really take pride in getting their flags out and helping the race weekend go to smoothly as it can.
I think definitely these next 2 rounds here, Lime Rock and Mid-Ohio, we have some of the best corner workers that you find here in the United States. So they get the blue flags out. They definitely are very attentive to what's going on. They know they're racing too, and we always say it. We try to say it, don't we, every weekend, Jonathan Green, how much appreciation we have for the corner workers. A lot of times that's a thankless job, and without them, without the volunteer services, without the commitment that they have, and quite frankly, without them putting their lives on the line for us a lot of times, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here and what we love to do. So big, huge thank you out there to all the corner workers. We certainly appreciate everything you do for us.
Hear, hear. Brabham now coming up on the 23 of Ruman. He too wanting to get past as quickly as he can to go in pursuit. The gap back down to 7 seconds. So while this traffic has caused a little bit of a concertina early on, it's now spread back out again to 7 seconds. It was down to 5. And whoa, Michael Sire getting very wide and onto the grass for a moment.
So there's a change for the lead.
That's right.
Griffin got around Michael Sire. So that's a big change for the lead that happened out there. And Sire seems to have the car handling going away from him a little bit. He seemed to have a really big understeer that he picked up, and then it really went to snap oversteer there, as we see a little bit of damage picked up on the front end of Ken Thwaites there too, as a matter of fact. See in the right front, We got a little bit of a collapse, and I'm almost wondering if that happened over there at the left-hander with Jason Berkeley.
Yeah,
and
good point. Yeah.
you know, I think he just got fouled in there, and I think Jason's trying to get out of the way, and I think that's innocent, just a racing deal. I don't believe no harm, no foul. Jason ran; he's still leading handily in SGT, and Ken's still going. So I just think that should be an easy no call, and everyone gets to keep racing.
Yeah, if you remember, we were on the drone when they came through this section here, and Ken did look remarkably close. He then went, the guy Berkeley went wide, and I think he was tapped by Ken, and that's what that damage is.
And I don't think that'll be on a call from the stewards. I don't think that'd be necessary. It didn't affect anyone's race. Jason didn't even lose a spot out of the whole deal, so that's a pretty easy no call, I believe, from upstairs. They'll make that one, and probably wait till afterwards because they're going to want to see some video. But and it won't be solely what we saw. The in-car might show something different, but I think no one's worse for the wear on that one, and we got a great race. It was a shame to see it get harmed on anyone's shape there.
Into turn one again. Ken Thwaites trying hard as he can to improve on that third place, but he'll take these points because obviously if he's got ahead of Ruman, which he has, that's what he cares about in terms of the championship. Ruman starting the day in third in the championship. Thwaites started in fourth.
Yeah, I know that's going to be a big points day. So there's still a lot of racing left though. You know, this is Lime Rock Park, so you know, you still got 24 laps of racing to go here yet, and so anything can happen, as you said. As we see this battle here too, you know, I know Billy really would like to get the Corvette of Berkeley in between him and the Porsche of Michael Saya.
Yeah, that's leaving him a little nervous because actually Saya's recovered a little bit from that previous lap where he went onto the grass at turn 7. He's now right behind Griffin again, and Griffin struggling to get past Berkeley at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You see him with the high beams on, the old endurance. Down the straightaways, he flashes high beams. You know, I've never had it work for me. It seems to me like they try to get more in your way, but if that was the case. But,
if somebody was flashing me, I'd be like, nah.
Yeah.
You wait. You're not going to intimidate me, buddy.
My track.
Yeah.
But no, and that's the kind of attitude you need to have as a competitor. You know, you're the man, you're the woman, you're the driver, you are the person of the hour. You're the one that's there to bring home all the glories of victory to your team and to those that care about what you're doing out here, your fans and your friends and everybody out there.
Saya getting ever closer now as Berkeley holding up Griffin in a way, and into turn 1 they go, and this is turning out to be a really interesting battle. Hale going through now, Lowry going through in the 42 Porsche.
And that brought Lowry right into this fight. You know, Lowry was nowhere near this fight. Now Lowry's in this fight as Griffin gets around. And Griffin and Saya get through on Berkeley, but now Berkeley's going to have his hands full as Lowry in that Porsche might have saved their stuff for the best here at the end.
Yeah.
And might be coming under the attack, but this is going to be a great GT battle heating up here between these two classes. You got the GT class that we got in camera right now
and
between Billy Griffin and Michael Saya. And then the SGT class right behind him with Jason Berkeley, excuse me. And Lowry that we have back there. Yeah.
So we've got two distinct battles here. Here's one for the SGT class, and the one ahead is for GT. Really interesting.
Yeah, I love how that formed up. And then we're going to get the faster car of Ken Thwaites. The TA car going to come up here and mix it up. As there's a pop for the lead,
and
there's a lock up right ahead there.
So all sorts of drama here for the class battles here. Obviously, Tyson leading the way in TA, but it's very much undecided in GT and SGT at the moment.
Yeah, it is, and Ken's moving his way through him again here, as it was not that long ago that he went through Berkeley at the exact same spot there in the left-hander. He had to do it again and navigating that. But now he's got Danny Lowry here going up the uphill. He's going to be patient. That's a smart move here. He can possibly get a run here on the uphill, between the uphill and West Bend to get through there on the Porsche of Lowry. Then he's going to attack the other Porsche up that we got ahead up there of Michael Saya.
Good pick.
Yeah. He'll get him down the straightaway, I believe.
Should do it, yeah.
Yep, down San Posey straight here. He'll be able to make that work. Shouldn't hold him up too much, and then Billy Griffin. But this GT class battle has certainly spread out, but it gave us a nice little taste of excitement there with 20 to go.
Yeah. And it might just get a little bit more tasty towards the end. Who knows? A mistake here or there. People are starting to get tired. I know this is a short track, but I would have thought the amount of gear changes, the amount of concentration, this would be a tiring 100 miles.
Oh, absolutely. No, this is a physical track. This is one of the more physical that we go to because it is so short. 100 miles is 100 miles. And when you have, for example, you go to Road America and you got straightaways that you can do your taxes on, it's a much different physical battle than when you come here to Lime Rock or we go to Mid-Ohio next at the end of June there when you're tuning in with us at Mid-Ohio. Again, folks, it's going to be hot there, and you're going to know that it's a physical challenge for every one of us.
So Dyson leading from Brabham and Thwaites. Here's Amy Ruman still in 4th place and running along in that Corvette. She had a power steering issue this morning in qualifying. She had to come in, change the power steering set up for her, and it caused a drama as well because it went just under the bridge, and that caused Dreesy to hit it and go off. No fault of hers, though, just one of those things. They got it sorted in the interim between qualifying and the race, and that's how she's out there now. But it's obviously always good. And in comes the 67. Well, I wondered whether he might have a problem, Jason, because he was definitely getting in the wars a little bit, and he slowed right down and now has pitted.
Yeah, it's a shame. What you saw him unplugging down there, that's a cool suit. That's where it circulates cold water into his shirt that's right up against our skin and keeps the core of our bodies cool there. That's what you see those hoses hanging out. But shame to see Jason have to pull this thing in. Don't know what was going on. It's pretty hot out there, and those cars, I know they're very, very hot. So you can see him just trying to get away from that thing, get that suit open and off. You wonder what was going on in that capacity. Was that a physical thing from the driver, or was it a mechanical thing down the track? Maybe our pit road reporter could find us that detail out.
Yeah, I think it's maybe a bit of both, actually. I think he was having problems. You can see in that fight he was in, he just wasn't, when the GT cars came past, he wasn't able to fight. And it may be partly something wrong with the car, but also, like you say, I think physically that looked pretty tough. He looked as though he'd had enough.
Well, it could be one of the the chicken and the egg thing. If you lose the power steering, you can only hang on to him for so long because power steering, all of a sudden the power steering fails. You have to push all that liquid and all that fluid through this power steering unit that doesn't have a pump moving the fluid for you. So it's actually harder than a car that was designed without power steering. So it's really a physical challenge. So you never know what happened there until we get the details. We can only speculate. But he looked pretty cooked. He looked like a pretty cooked puppy trying to get out of that thing, and he couldn't wait to get that suit down. It is a warm day here too. It's a warm, humid day, as we see. This is not a class battle, but this is a good battle between two Porsches, as it's going to take them right to the grass.
Oh, Michael gets back on track just, but he was thrown a little bit by that attack then, and he's gathered it all together out of Big Ben, but that was a bit of a moment.
Was that some dirt track motorcycle riding skills
there
right
you go,
there
he is. That's why he was in the AMA.
Yeah,
good call.
That's impressive stuff there. That was some great car control that he displayed to keep all four on the black pavement there. So great job by Michael Saya. And because I believe you're right, Jonathan Green, he was not expecting the pop of the Porsche there of Danny Lowry, and he certainly did. And as they both get squirrely on the uphill, they're both antsy to get on the throttle to get either closer or away from one another.
So, interesting, intriguing racing here. Lap 52 of 68. Half an hour to go. Still a long way, Mike. Adam, I tell you what, I would have thought when you get to this point in the race and it's still half an hour, do you still go, oh, I've got a long way to go, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely, unless there's something that happens.
Is that overtake, bit of debris involved as well. But
yeah, that's the debris that I saw that Dyson hit. So
what happened, I think, then? The 42 ran out of road as well. He'd run out of braking position, which forced Michael Saya wide.
Yeah, they definitely were going for some real estate that wasn't for sale. So, but they came out no worse for the wear. So no one made contact, and I don't think there was anything cheeky there that was done. So I think we're in good shape there as well as Chris Dyson circulates through lap 54. I'm sorry, that's Matty Brabham on the All-Graham 21 Ford Mustang. But yeah, he's circling around doing his thing. He's kept that gap, it never got more than 9 seconds. It's come down to as close as 4 seconds. But it's been a pretty methodical gap between the teammates there. And Matty's doing exactly what his job should be, and that's taking those points and stacking them up for his boss there, Chris Dyson, this weekend.
Exactly that. And as you say, it's remained 7 seconds or just over for the last, 15 laps or so. So I think Matt has just decided to settle into the groove, as it were, to maintain what he's doing, which is low 50, well, high 51s, 51.7 last time out, 51.5 his best. But yeah, he's just settling now for second place. You can see Tyson just ahead of him. But quite some way, the whole straight of Samposi straight ahead, and this is turning into a bit of a procession for Tyson, but that is how he planned it.
No, absolutely. You know, and this is the form that Tyson's on. You know, he's on this kind of just rare form that you don't see. It's almost extraterrestrial. He's not from here, and he's making it seen, and it's really a driving by the man. It's fun to witness this kind of dominance, and you know, and when you know the person personally like I do, and he's very supportive of all those around him, and he's fun to race with. He's fun to race around, and again, he's been just awesome to have in the paddock. He loves these Trans Am cars. He's the biggest champion for these cars that you can find, because he's driven literally everything on the planet. He's been blessed and had those opportunities, and for him to say that in his life at this point, this is where he's committed, that says a lot about the Trans Am series. It says a lot about these race cars, and I tell you what, folks, if you haven't made it to one of these live and get to meet these drivers and get to meet these teams and see these cars up close, you're missing out, because these things, it's some of the best race weekends you can find, these Speed Tour weekends. Not only do you have the modern race cars that we see here, the Trans Am cars, but we have what made the history of the sport, SVRA, every weekend, and some just beautiful examples there. And you know, Trans Am, TA2, and everything that's involved in the weekends. I'm a big champion for it, because it's exciting. I'm a racer, and as a racer, these drone shots just show you what it's all made of. The crowd that stuck around, and with the outfield and infield, it's just been a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I consider myself personally very blessed to be a part of it.
Chris Tyson, obviously a two-time ALMS champion, as well as a multiple champion here, won in 2003 and 2011, and of course his father's record impeccable, as well as the Tyson dynasty continues, and it's going to again here at Lime Rock. He's back up on Ken Thwaites as the blue flags wave, and this is a bit of a Samozzel, as David Hobbs, who's raced here many times, would say, because he's got SGT, GT, and TA here to battle with.
And I mean, and this again just backs up what I was saying about where Chris is at in his place. You know, he is lapping up to third place right now, and that's
pretty impressive.
That's clinical. It's 100% clinical, and you know, he could just kind of breathe easy and take it easy. And Ken Thwaites, remember, he went up against it. He crossed the line probably a good 8 seconds behind the leaders because of his little famoozle there on the opening lap where they spun to the left-hander. But you know, he bounced back and has had himself a great race. To sit on this rostrum here. They got to just hang on for 10 more laps as Ken's car's sliding around quite a bit. He looks like he's got a handful for him as I watch him slide through that left-hander quite aggressively. So hang on to her, Ken Thwaites. Bring her home, buddy.
Yeah, you never know. That little ding he took may have unbalanced the front suspension slightly, and that might be causing him problems. But as we look high above the Lime Rock circuit, the action has been thick and fast. As we go back to the 42 of Danny Lowry in SGT.
Yeah, and the gap has really shrunk down between Tyson and Brabham. Again, that's friendly fire from the back.
Yeah.
And, you know, so that is what you definitely tightened up. And then it spreads out again, as you can see here, as we come across the line here. We'll probably see that gap spread up just a little bit, up to 4.8 seconds. So Chris is able to open up another gap. So he's kind of able to control it like a yo-yo, if you will, between the two. So, but he's definitely being patient with Ken Thwaites, you know, knowing that Ken still had, you know, Ken's got a lot of speed. It's not like Ken's sitting there just riding around. So,
no.
You know, the last lap time of Chris Tyson was a 52.8 and Ken was a 52.9. So, and, you know, Matt Brabham stuck in traffic was a 54.2. So, what a great amount of air he's getting there. I can't wait to talk to Matt. He's got that classic Brabham smile on behind the helmet. I can promise you he's got that big Brabham smile on that you can see from a mile away. And he's just holding a real pretty steering wheel for CD Racing.
Well, it's interesting, you know, you think of the Brabhams as Australians, but they've had such a heritage here in America with Jeff, and of course Matt Brabham, and of course the great Sir Jack in his own time. So, yeah. Oh, somebody spun, and that's the number 42. That is Lowry.
And
Danny Lowry.
that's in the Big Bend, so that's why we got the yellow here on the front straightaway. But it's a local yellow. We will not go full course for that.
If he keeps the engine going, it should be fine.
No worse for the wear. The yellow's been pulled out. The greens are back out. But great flashy corner workers. I mean, what an awesome job. The flags are out, I mean, immediately. I mean, the second there was a break of control there, the flags were out. And, what great stuff. Great work here.
Less than 10 laps to go then, as Dyson now with a 4.3 second gap. Brabham has brought it down, but I think that's really more to do with trying to finish in almost unison, because Brabham isn't expecting to win this race, but he will likely want to get as close to Dyson as he possibly can. Ken Thwaites way back in third position, and Amy Ruman still circulating with Dan in fourth. Hale now leading XGT. Griffin leads GT ahead of Sire. Lowry still leading SGT over Berkeley, but Berkeley just retired a moment ago, and sadly so too has the heritage car of Paul Fix.
Yeah, but I mean, if I tell you what, no worse for the wear. I mean, that's really not too bad as far as attrition goes for Lime Rock Park, I'll be honest with you.
Yep.
So it's great to see that everyone's taking really good care of their equipment out there, and other than a few little body panels having a couple of dings on them, I think we're going to get away looking pretty clean here with only 8 laps to go, as front straightaway right in front of our booth here. But yeah, you look here at Michael Saya again. He's holding steady there, second in class, 7th overall. Billy Griffin, man, he caught fire. Once that pass was made, he was clear track, got all the downforce on the front of the car that he needed, no more dirty air, and he's been setting sail and just kind of doing his own thing, and took off and took like a 15-second gap over his nearest competitor.
And as you can see, Lowry's got back and going again, and is back with his Bridge Hall 42 Porsche and coming under the hill and down towards 7 again, and looking nice and clean now. So he just wants to finish this race off as cleanly as possible, and it's been a good run. And don't forget, Mid-Ohio coming up back-to-back with Road America for Trans Am, and the season continues throughout Watkins Glen to come, Virginia. Some great races. We'll also be going in August to Nashville. Looking forward to that as well. So plenty of great racing to come, and it all culminates at COTA at the Circuit of the Americas at the end of the season, as we always do. Looking forward to that. And that's actually where Matt Brabham got his first run, was COTA last year, replacing this man, Chris Dyson.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, and honestly, probably earned him the job to come back here today.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because he just drove him past there and taking the win away from right at the end from the 7-time champ of Ernie Francis Jr.
Do you remember this time last year, Andy Lally came in?
I do. I do remember this time last year, and I believe placed right where Matty Browden's going to be placing here today. Took those valuable points home away for CD Racing, and but yeah, I do remember that very, very distinctly. That's what this weekend marks. This is the halfway point of our season in Trans Am. So this is a really pivotal point as far as the championship goes and the points. So you're starting to feel the pressure of the rest of the season and stacking up those points and get to that championship run again.
Well, finally, you can see Dyson on the front row as it gets it down now to 3.9 seconds. This could be a really interesting finish, as Brabham definitely cutting in to the lead of Dyson here in the closing stages. Lap 63 of 68. Brabham with a bit of traffic ahead of him. Dyson now still leading, but Brabham closing in on every second, getting to know this Lime Rock track quickly, having just discovered it this morning.
You're right. Yeah, and I mean, it's and that's the best part about this place is you keep taking laps, but you'll never run it perfect. And but the thing that Matt is, he's learned this place like he's been here 100 times before. So and that is who he is. He can pick up on a track so quick. He's the right man for this job, and that's why Chris Dyson didn't bat an eye. Oh, you never been to Lime Rock? Yeah, no. Hop on an airplane, come get 900 plus horsepower, and get around this place. So, and let me tell you,
and get a podium
with the gear. And go ahead and run that thing on P2. But yeah, I mean, another thing about these cars, that's we say 900 horsepower, 900 plus horsepower, 850 plus brake horsepower. Yeah. But when you put the gear that you have to put in them to run around a short track like we're running here, because it's essentially a short track for us, it feels like they got like 1,500 horsepower because it just is magnified so much. So, the fact that these drivers keep these cars, shiny side up and on the black top is pretty amazing around a place like Lime.
Here's your GT leader then, Billy Griffin, former champion. 6th overall, but leading the GT class. And Coming across the strip again, Randy Hale leading XGT. That hood has been flapping throughout the race, but it isn't a problem. You can see that it's attached properly, but it is giving him a bit of drag, as you say.
Yeah. I mean, again, you go to the places where the straightaways are long and a lot longer than what you have here. But, you know, like we said, it's proved to be a runway at some point, the front straightaway, so it can't be too short here. But yeah, no, you got to have that thing. They're aero-sensitive, and you got to have the air go clean over the bodywork. And unfortunately for Randy right now, that's not just happening. So they got a little bit of homework to do, maybe some dowel pins to put in the hood.
Well, if anybody knows about lift, it'll be the propeller man.
Yeah, right. They can fix that. No problem. What a great crowd. I mean, you see all the cars and the campers can hardly fit anyone else.
So Dyson going through again on room, and he is absolutely... Oh, a spin for Michael Sire this time in the 13. He's been in the wars, and now he's back on the grass again. Let's hope he doesn't get too deep into it, but he's okay.
That was a big bend right there again. Another one. It must be getting really slick down, and then turn one there, and these Porsches are swapping ends, right? It's like throwing a dart backwards where the weight is on a Porsche.
Yeah,
so,
I know what you mean.
When the rear tires tend to get real hot on them, like at the end of a 100-mile race, as we only got a few laps left, that's probably maybe what's causing them to swap ends. And a little bit more front brake bias might help solve that for their brake release.
So the 21 and the 20 circulating, leading and dominating this race. The gap between Dyson and Brabham now down to 4.5 seconds. Thwaite still in third place, Room in fourth. This is how they're going to finish if Dyson doesn't have a problem. I don't want to put the commentator's blight on him. It's been absolutely picture perfect throughout this 100-mile race, and he's just got a couple to go. And if anybody gets nervous, it's now's the time to worry, because it has been absolutely immaculate qualifying. Record time in qualifying, 49.8. Got the lap record there for TA here. Now he's following it up with an immaculate race run, and he's on the penultimate lap, or about to be any second now. He's just got to bring it home, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the whole name of the game. And when you're dominating a race like he's done right now, you're hearing every little gremlin that could come up in the car. You know, you can hear every. There's just that's your challenge now. Is you just want this thing to come home. And he doesn't have like a giant lead. You know, he's sitting there with a 5-second lead on his teammate Matty Brabham. So if he does have any issue, it's right there on the attack. So yeah, no, he can't let his guard down, that's for sure. And he's got to really fight for these last couple laps.
I can see the white flag being prepared, and we are getting ready for the finish of this TA race, which has been an absolute doozy for the championship leader, who's about to make it 4 in a row of wins here in the 2022 season. He's got some GT cars ahead of him, but that won't worry him. He'll take his time. He'll get onto the straight and dispense with that. Now he'll see the white flag. There it is. As one more lap to go then for Dyson at home, sweeping the field here yet again. It'll be his third win in a row here at the Lime Rock circuit, having won in 2021 and 2019. We didn't come here because of COVID in 2020, so therefore Dyson absolutely putting on an immaculate exhibition of racing in front of his home fans, just what he wanted. And of course the car's prepared just 20 minutes down the road from here, and this is very much his backyard, and he's proven once again that he is a cut above the rest when it comes to TA racing. His teammate Matthew Brabham will follow him home in second place. The gap has come down to 3.4 seconds, but it isn't a problem for this man, number 20, Chris Dyson. What a performance by the Ford Mustang, the son, of course, of Rob Dyson, who gave the command, but the commanding performance was by this man, as Chris Dyson wins again at Lime Rock Park. A memorable win on Memorial Weekend, and Rob is absolutely delighted. His father, of course, an accomplished racer in his own right over the years, and brought Chris here as a young 7-year-old, and Chris got the bit between his teeth and has never looked back. Fantastic racing by him. And Matthew Brabham does complete second place, and the gap in the end, 5 seconds, but it made no difference really. He just needed to be there for Dyson, and that's what he did. Ken Thwaites takes third position. Amy Ruman will be fourth. In XGT, Randy Hale will take the laurels yet again, and Billy Griffin wins in GT, and Danny Lowry, despite a couple of offs, still holds on to the SGT lead. 7th overall, and does beat Jason Berkeley, unfortunately, who just retired with a couple of laps to go. Now, I'm going to send Adam Andretti down to the pit lane to get a word with our winner, and it's great to have a driver talk to another driver, because there's no question that he and Chris have raced each other hard over the years, so that should be fun to hear. And we look down high from the drone on this wonderfully prepared Lime Rock circuit. Confirmation of the result then, Chris Dyson for the Atwell Trans Am Mustang takes the win over Matthew Brabham in the All Graham 21. Ken Thwaites in the Franklin Road Apparel takes third place, and Amy Ruman in the Corvette for McNichol's company takes fourth. Randy Hale fifth, and the first in XGT. GT is won by Billy Griffin in the Griffin Auto Care Sheehan towing GT car in sixth position in the Mustang. Danny Lowry in seventh in the winner of the Bridge Hall SGT car. He takes laurels in SGT. Michael Sire takes eighth. Jason Berkeley retired but takes ninth, and Paul Fix likewise finishes in 10th and wins the Heritage class. Wonderful Memorial weekend here, and it is a time to remember the forces, and for those that have given their lives over the years for the armed forces here in the USA, and everybody here at Trans Am very proud of that fact and honouring that moment before the start of the race. And Chris Dyson will emerge victorious out of the cockpit, and it doesn't matter if you've had an easy win, it's still a hard race. He went flat out all the way through. And as soon as that helmet comes off, we'll hear from him. And Adam Andretti, I know, is getting into position to talk to our winner, Chris Dyson. Well done. So as soon as that helmet comes off, well done to Chris Dyson. Matthew Brabham in second, Ken Thwaites in third. But let's head down now and let's hear from the man of the moment, Chris Dyson. He is with Adam Andretti.
Chris Dyson, yes, we're doing this, buddy. That's what happens when you dominate the way you did. We saw you come in here after that run of absolute pure master class. You paused and reflected in the car. Talk to us about what that run was like for you.
Yeah, I mean, this place just means so much to me. My whole life as a kid going out here with watching my dad, who's here today, Grand Marshal. What a thrill. And, just to go out and win this one again, it never gets old, winning out here on Memorial Day. I mean, this was the most meaningful race to me growing up. And to come out here and have such great support from the fans, and the promoters did a great job getting everybody out here. The Altwell car was up front the whole day, and Matty Brabham was right there in case anything happened to me to pick up the slack. So we miss Hamid Masood, but really happy to get Matt in the car, and so excited for the points heading into the next round. I think we're in good shape, but you just got to take it one race at a time, and we're doing this.
Yeah, you are, and proud papa right here, Rob. What do you think about this young man and the job that he's doing in this Trans Am Series? He is on the way making his own history.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's really got the package. The guys have done a great job in the shop. Chris has done a great job, giving them the kind of feedback to make the cars work better. And I'm just thrilled for him, and I'm thrilled for the guys at the shop. They've done a terrific job. And I will tell you, the other thing is that these Pirelli tires, the new generation of Pirelli tires, are just absolutely terrific. They have done such a great job creating a kind of a tire that doesn't disappear after 4 or 5 laps. They're there all throughout the event. And, I was on a race monitor radio, and nobody was complaining about the tires. It was just terrific. So it's impressive, the whole thing, and I love these cars. I mean, they're loud, they're fast. I mean, Chris set a rank record of 49, a little over 49 seconds. I mean, at Lime Rock. I mean, that is really flying. So congratulations.
From the legend himself, Rob Dyson, legend right here too, Chris Dyson, doing his own thing, and an awesome job here for Trans Am. Congratulations to you both. We're going to go back to Johnny Green in the booth.
Excellent stuff, Adam, and it was nice to have both of the Dysons there, Rob and Chris, the winner of today's race. The flag flying high for them here on Memorial Weekend. Well, the breeze has picked up and the clouds have come in, but it's been an absolutely glorious day here. And we've got more action to come from our Skip Barber feature race too, so stay with us if you're tuning in on the live feed. But let's take a look at some of the highlights of our 100-mile TA SGT GT race. Right on the formation lap. Whoa, what a highlight. Poor old Ken Thwaites spun round and had to start at the back, but there was no such problem for Chris Tyson. He ploughed to the front and never looked back. Meanwhile, Thwaites in the 7 was coming through the field, as was Matthew Brabham. Matthew Brabham coming in as a ringer, if you will, for Humed Masood, but he gets past Amy Ruman and does it in style. And Ruman did a good job of holding off Thwaites for as long as she could. And it was a good race for them at Nichols number 23, but finally round the outside. What an audacious move there by Ken Thwaites. But there was no stopping the audacity of this man as Chris Tyson makes it 3 in a row at Lime Rock. So, plenty of action, and as always, we look for some really good action in between the race. It doesn't have to be the winner, but we call it our Chill Out Systems cool move of the day, and it has to be, no question about it, the number 14, Billy Griffin. He just had a battle through and through in this race, and he looked really impressive, especially when it got a little dicey with the TA cars coming through. But Griffin held on and took the GT victory, as well as some rather impressive moves. Well done to Billy Griffin. And in GT, XGT going to Randy Hale, GT going to Billy Griffin, and Danny Lowry winning in SGT. Now, I was talking about the chill out moment just a moment ago, and now we're going to celebrate that moment because, as I mentioned before, Billy Griffin may have won GT, but he also was in the thick of it, and he is our chill out, keep cool move of the race. And it doesn't have to be one particular move because there was so many. It was just a combination of just great driving by our former GT champion and also under pressure, sometimes from GT, sometimes from TA cars and others like SGT also in the mix. So Billy Griffin gets our Chill Out Systems cool move of the weekend. So lovely scenes here. Just below is the podium down there as they get ready to go to that podium and celebrate. And don't forget, we've got more Skip Barber action coming up on our live feed. I hope you've enjoyed our weekend of coverage, and each and every one of the Speed Tour weekends, which includes Trans Am and SVRA, and also includes our F4 Americas and FR Americas. If you go onto the website on the Speed Tour SVRA site, you'll be able to see some of the action from that. But if you tune in, we will be doing live streams on all of the races, but as well we'll be showing a full highlights on the CBS channel, so watch out for that, the CBS Sports Network, and looking forward to bringing you the action from Lime Rock in a few days' time. So, without ado, let's head down as the fans come down and trickle down towards the podium to celebrate with our winners. Let's head down to our podium for TA, XGT, SGT, and GT.
All right, Lime Rock Park, let's hear it. Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli here. Unbelievable weekend. We are going to start in the GT class in Pro-Am. In the Pro-Am section, we need Michael Saya, first place. Where's Michael? Come on up here. Getting some water dumped on him. You're first in the Pro-Am. I'm not going to be able to do that. Second overall. Let's hear it, Michael Saya. Michael, that was like a pretty crazy hot race out there. Tell us about your race.
Well, my cool suit shirt popped off after about 15 minutes. Fought a lot of understeer towards the last 20 minutes. I couldn't get the car to turn, but I wasn't going to pull in. So want to thank KMC, best alignments, best setup in the business. My crew chief, Rabbit Raps, Motul, and thanks for having me. It's been a great weekend.
Michael, welcome. Thank you so much. Here, we're going to give you a hat. Eric, if you'll take that microphone.
Have some more water. That's a good thing.
And then, Michael, you're gonna stay up there. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Saya in that Porsche. Lost his cool suit, lost his steering. Now, Michael, stay up there, because in first place in our national GT, putting on a crazy show in that beautiful Mustang. Let's hear it. Billy Griffin, ladies and gentlemen. And I got to say, the GT classes were the races to watch.
Because they're taking the audio from there, you need to hold the mic further down because you can't mix it.
All right, let's hear from Billy.
There you go. Thank you.
Oh, you don't? Billy, take the mic. Tell us about your race. Because that was the race to watch between all you GTs, SGTs. How was it out there?
Well, it was hot, but it was fun. First time here. What a beautiful place. The car was hooked up pretty good. I'd like to thank my team, Nate. Stacy came with us this time. My crew, my wife, my family are here. We're having a beautiful weekend here in Lime Rock. The car was awesome. The competition was awesome. I had a lot of fun with them. I took a long time to get around them. I was patient. I got hit by the old man over here, Franklin Square, right at the beginning of the race, and I thought it was over before it started. So normally I kind of lose my head when that kind of stuff happens, so I was able to keep my head with me and put my head down and make it work. Unlike his cool suit, my chill out system work all the way to the end. So,
nice. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. Billy Griffin, Michael Saya, GT class.
Hold the trophy up for the photo.
Lime Rock Park. Unbelievable. All right, and now, gentlemen, we ask you, do a little lap around. High-five the crowd. Give them a little hat, something. Let's hear it one more time. Billy Griffin, Michael Saya in the GT class. They say thank you, everybody. We've got some champagne, you guys. Don't forget the champagne.
Yes.
Yes, they said.
I'll wait for him to get his. You got sunglasses?
Oh, here we go. Come on, Lime Rock Park. Get loud. Not the hat, they said. They want the hat. All right, Super GT. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause. The number 67, Jason Berkeley. Where's Jason Berkeley? Come on up here, Jason. And first place, Super GT in that beautiful Bridge Hall Porsche. Let's hear it for Danny Lowry. Danny, you got to jump up here, man. Danny Lowry, we've said your name. One more time, Danny Lowry up at the top. Jason, that was a little bit of an early retirement. What happened out there?
The gearbox just stopped wanting to get in the third out there, and at that point I didn't want to stay in the way of the GT guys, and Danny got behind me, and the problem was just getting worse and worse. So at that point I just didn't want to break stuff and throw it off the track, so retired the car. But just want to say great job to Matt Carson Racing, my crew, and Falls Village Inn for all their support here, and Lime Rock. The track is beautiful, awesome.
And this is your local track, right? You're like as local as they get. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Jason Berkeley, where do you live in real life?
Falls Village.
Nice. I love it. Let's hear it for Falls Village. Come on now. You got to cheer for the hometown guys. And Danny Lowry, crazy fight out there. I love the battle we're seeing from the GT classes. How was it for you?
Oh, it was a blast. This is my first time up here to Lime Rock, and I was about as lost as a duck in the desert out there for a while. And I got behind about 20 seconds, then I had to pedal hard to catch up once I figured out how the heck to drive the track. And Jason had me covered all the way, and then he had mechanical problems, so I guess it's just my good fortune when that happened and his bad. But no, it's great. I really enjoyed Lime Rock. Beautiful, beautiful area. Love these fans, and I was really happy to come out and drive for them.
Nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. Jason Berkeley, Danny Lowry.
Trophies up for a photo.
Hold up the trophies. Come on, Lime Rock Park. I know you can get louder than that. There we go. We love coming to Lime Rock Park. This is such a great crowd. Thank you guys so much. Glad that the weather improved over the weekend, Memorial Day Classic. One more time, Lime Rock. Let's hear it. Jason Berkeley, hometown man. Danny Lowry, Porsche versus Corvette. Danny Lowry, I think you've got this track dialed in now. Let's see what happens here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. That's cold. That was a little bit gentlemanly. Nobody went for the eye. Oh, now they're going for the eyes. All right, let's hear Super GT, Jason Berkeley, Danny Lowry. And now Extreme GT, putting on a show. First place, the number 31. Let's hear it. Randy Hale. Randy, you got to get up on that top step and then introduce your crew here.
Yeah, we have a lighter podium, so I brought some extra people to fill in the podium.
Yeah, bring them up. Introduce them.
This is my daughter, Skylar, my son, Randy.
Nice.
And,
now, that is such a beautiful car. How was your race out there?
It was hot. It was really hot. It was fun at the beginning, and then I kept saying, how much time left? It's getting really hot in this car. But it was a lot of fun. I just want to dedicate this race to my father, who passed away 6 years ago. And then to Sherman, who passed away as a fellow racer 2 weeks ago, who was one of the most courageous people I ever met battling cancer. He was a grumpy bastard before he got cancer, and he was the nicest guy afterwards and most positive outlook. So I just want to thank you, Sherman. So.
Now, I love that you were spreading this, that your children are here enjoying it. Do you love coming to Lime Rock Park?
This is my home track. I mean, this is the most beautiful track in the world. I mean, it's where you can, you used to be able to come here and sit and have lunch with Paul Newman, sit up on the grass. I mean, Paul used to sit in my toter home and have lunch with us. And so you just want to get away from other people, other actors, and other people ask for autographs. But the crowds be able to come right up to the track is just awesome. And the Hale Motorsports Hale propeller car was just unbelievable to drive today. And without family, you can't get away with doing this.
Nice. So. I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear Randy Hale. And this is quite the family affair here at Lime Rock Park. Get up there with him. We'll take the mic. Lime Rock Park, let's hear it for another hometown boy, Randy Hale, with his family, long-time Lime Rock Park competitor with his children. I love coming here. Thank you, guys. This is my favorite crowd that we go to all year. All right, Lime Rock Park, this is your chance to get super loud. Randy Hale, Extreme GT, Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. Yeah, we can't distribute that with the minors on stage, Randy, so that's for later. Let's hear it. Hold it up. There we go. That's legal. Randy Hale, ladies and gentlemen, Extreme GT. Thank you. Thank you for coming out, putting on a great show. And now we go to TA, the 850 pushing 900 horsepower monsters out there. Third overall, first in Masters. Franklin Road, let's hear it. Ken Twaits. Oh, Tommy Dreese's trying to hold him back. Competitor. Ken Twaits, Franklin Road Apparel, third overall, first in Masters.
Hey, first in Masters. I'm the first old guy across the line. That's awesome.
So, Ken.
Still got it, baby. Still got it.
Ken, tell us about the little shunt, the bump that happened. We noticed something on the front end of your car. What happened there?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe you owe Billy one of these great shirts.
Oh, I know. I mean, I spun the car on the pace lap. Everything you can do wrong, I do it the best. And I did it. And then, so, I was in a hurry. And after I realized that, I was going to catch everybody on the first lap, I decided to settle down. So, hey, I'd like to thank my crew so much. They got the car together. Great motor in the car. We hadn't been here for a year. We qualified this morning, just a handful of laps, and, we put it third on the grid. I wish Tommy was out here. You missed it. All right. So, thank you all for coming out here. God, it's so great to see people out there. I love this track. There's so many great fans. Thank you all for coming. I love it.
Nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he showed up last year at Circuit of the Americas in his first Trans Am race, and he won it. Second place here in his second Trans Am race, to my knowledge. Let's hear it. Matthew Brabham, second place with Tyson Racing. He's had a busy weekend, has Matt Brabham.
Thank you.
So cool to have him here with us at Lime Rock. Matt, how was your race, and what about this crowd at Lime Rock?
Oh, yeah, first of all, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. It was so cool to be here. I didn't realize how big this event was, and obviously my dad was telling me about it, my family was telling me about it, and yeah, it was so cool to be out there racing. And big thank you to Chris Dyson and Rob Dyson and his whole team. It's one of the most professional teams I've ever worked for, and they really gave me a great car today, and it was so cool to be a part of it. And the history here, I mean, the stories I grew up listening to my family, and to finally come here and race here myself was just unbelievable. I mean, it lived up to every expectation, and it was so cool to have all the crowd out here, and what a weekend. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Nice. Now, was anybody here? Jeff Brabham, one of my childhood heroes, won here in 1988 in the Memorial Day Classic. Was anybody here? Look at that. And now Matt Brabham up on the podium here. How cool is that, ladies and gentlemen? And speaking of family dynasties, let's hear it. First place, 3 in a row. Lime Rock Park is home track. Chris Dyson.
Hey, bud.
Good job. Thanks, man. Chris Dyson, I know that this is extra special for you. Your dad is the Grand Marshal. We're going to bring him up here in a second, but tell us about how you're feeling right now.
It's overwhelming, to come out here. This place meant the world to me as a kid growing up, and coming out here with my family and my mom and my dad, and just seeing everybody race. It really planted the seed of my love for the sport. And now to come back here and to have success, a 20-year career, I have a sense of perspective that I obviously didn't have when I was a kid, but I have the same sense of love for this place. And I think everyone up here on the hill knows what I'm talking about. This is a ritual. It's an annual, and obviously to go racing on Memorial Day, we've got to be mindful of why we're celebrating today and honor those who have given their lives so we can come out here and enjoy ourselves and enjoy our freedoms. And hope and pray that we can stay out of as many more conflicts as possible globally, and focus on our friends and families here at home and taking care of each other. Appreciate everybody being out here, and it's great having Dad here. Mom's here too, and my family. Just so thankful, Ben. We had a great car out there today. The Altwell car, as you guys could see, was on fire. Super, super fast. Matty Brabham shows up here. He's never seen the place before, and I think he really honored his family legacy here today. And I'm so grateful he could come in and fill in for Hamid Massoud, and being up here with Ken, who's a great friend. We're big supporters of this series. We love this series, and we appreciate everybody here for coming out and supporting us and seeing us race these amazing machines. We are so blessed and lucky, and thank you.
Nice. All right, let's do some photos. Eric, if you'll grab that mic, but don't go too far. Let's do photos, and then we're going to have our Grand Marshal come up. So where is Chris? All right, Chris Clark. Look at Chris Clark. Hold those trophies up, gentlemen. Let's hear it. Ken Thwaites, Matthew Brabham, Chris Dyson. A lot of history here represented here on this podium. So Lime Rock Park, I need you to get super loud. Ken Thwaites, first in Masters, 3rd overall. Matt Brabham, Chris Dyson, get loud, Lime Rock Park. Now, Rob Dyson, if we can get you up here real quick. Eric, if you'll give him the mic. Rob, I know that you've been going back and forth to Indy, to Lime Rock Park, but you also consider, you've got so much history here at Lime Rock. What's it like now to have such a legacy and passing it down to Chris and working with Matthew Brabham and then just everybody here?
Chris, I guess the number one question I have is, what was it like out there?
It was hot, and it was fast.
That's it. That's Lime Rock on Memorial Day. Fortunately, I don't know if you all remember maybe 2 or 3 years ago when we were lucky to 50 degrees. Anyway, look, there's nothing more that I can add to what Chris said. I think it is important that we remember what Memorial Day is and what it represents. The other thing is that I think it also represents what you've seen here, great racing at Lime Rock Park. All I can tell you is I haven't been up on the top step at this track in a very long time, and I was never up here enough when I was racing. But anyway, I want to thank all the guys at the shop who've done just a sterling job for Chris, making sure he's got a great car underneath him. The Pirelli tire folks, they have done a fantastic job. All the support staff for the Trans Am and the organizers, and I'm especially honored by all the Skip Barber and all of his associates for asking me to be a Grand Marshal. This was a very emotional event for me to do that, because I've always seen it happen. I've been in a car when they do it, but I never realized that it would be as an emotional attachment to the event that being a Grand Marshal requires. And I'm just honored to be here, and I'm honored that Chris and Matt have done such a great job. And I'm going to tell you, he captured his fastest lap on lap 52. So that shows, that's right. He finally warmed his tires up and started using them. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Nice. Rob Dyson. Wait, stay up here for a photo real quick. How many of you remember Rob Dyson racing out here in those beautiful 962s on the car? So you got a lot of Rob Dyson fans out here. Chris Dyson, Matthew Brabham, Ken Thwaites. And then Matthew, Ken, you guys are excused because our IMCO Top Gear Award, Rhett, is out here. Rhett, come on, jump up there. Rhett is going to present the award. I'd like to get his hat first. Oh, he'd like the hat. See, look at that. Rhett checking it out, working on it. See, Larry, you're training him well. Here you go. So IMCO Gears makes really fantastic gearboxes and gears. IMCO Top Gear Award goes to Chris Dyson and the Dyson team, $500 to go back out, because as we know, Lime Rock Park can beat up the gearboxes. So thank you so much.
All right, are we good?
And then Billy Griffin wins our Chill Out Systems Award of the race for keeping it cool out there, no matter what was happening to him on track. Let's hear it. Billy Griffin and that beautiful Griffin Mustang. Hey, Tommy Dreesy. Tommy Dreesy, don't go too far. Come here, Tommy Dreesy. Eric, give that mic to Tommy. I'm going to do something real dangerous here. How was it to watch the race as a spectator? Was that difficult? Billy, you're awesome. Thank you, man. Tommy Dreesy wrecked in qualifying, and how tough was it to watch the race from the sidelines?
You know, you want to support your competitors, but it was probably like, I wouldn't know, but probably like an alcoholic watching somebody drink at a bar. It was pretty tough, but at the same time, seeing what these cars do from the outside, I don't get a chance to do that, and they're insane. So the fans here, thank you to everybody here for your condolences and stuff, and I'll see you guys here next year. See you guys here next year.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Lime Rock Park. Hey, gentlemen, don't go too far. We've got some hats and giveaways to give out to these great fans. They want some giveaways, so throw out some hats. That includes you, Dyson. Lime Rock Park, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming out, and we will see you next year, Memorial Day Classic.
Can you let him help throw the hats, Wyatt? Yeah.
So that concludes our podium celebration. Some heartfelt words from the Dysons, and well put, I think, Chris Dyson, summing up the weekend of why we're here and what it means to the people of this part of the world, if not to motor racing in America. A wonderful event and a wonderful occasion. My thanks to all involved, especially to Adam Andretti and Cameron Parsons, who took us through TA2. But that covers our action from the feature race. At least we have more action coming up on our live feed later today. Locally at 4:10 we'll have Skip Barber. But for now, from me, Jonathan Green, my thanks to all of you watching from wherever you tuned in. More coming from Lime Rock. Stay with us.
As you can tell, I like to go fast. Our race team is really well prepared. We like to look good, but we also like to dress good, and that's why we shop at Franklin Road Apparel. I own the company, and I wear the clothes that we sell in that store. So check us out. We carry all the top brands: Baldwin, John Barbados, Billy Reed, Goodman brand, and on down the list. So come see us. Franklin Road Apparel, Franklin, Tennessee.
Lightweighting means reducing mass and consolidating parts. No one tackles these design and tooling challenges better than 3-Dimensional Services. We'll provide flexible tooling solutions, including integrating parts, reducing design complexity, or even design changes. We're the go-to source for rapid manufacturing and low-volume production. Trust 3-Dimensional Services to develop the most efficient approach to meet your lightweighting challenges today. 3-Dimensional Services. Prototype, production, proven.
Menards is the Midwest's ultimate home improvement store. Family owned since 1958, Menards is the one-stop shop where you always save big money. Get the Midwest's best selection nationwide when you shop online at menards.com. We make it easy to complete your projects around the house, big or small. From hardware to plumbing or paint to appliances, we carry it all. Visit menards.com today to save big money at Menards.